Hi, I'm Mitch, and today we have the unspeakable privilege of sitting down with my guest, Travis Mills. You know, Jesus said in John 16:33 that you're going to have trouble. I'm going to have trouble. But he says, take heart, I have overcome the world. And he says in that same verse that he's come so that we might have peace. Peace is reconciliation. Reconciliation with God that leads to reconciliation in our relationships with others. And he's, interestingly enough, contrasting peace that comes through his work, through the work of Christ, with the peace that came through Romans' military strength. And so it paints an unbelievable portrait, a backdrop, if you will, for today's guest. Travis Mills has gone through more trouble than most of us will ever go through. And he was faced with a choice, whether or not to just lay there and not get better, or be part of God's restoration plan for his life. And you're going to see how God is using Travis Mills to bring his restoration to others. Travis, thank you so much for being with us today.
Appreciate you having me, sir.
I really appreciate it. U.S. Army Staff Sergeant, retired.
Yep.
And you're one of 5 quadruple amputees from the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Very fortunate to make it.
And
elite club.
It really is. You made the decision to go out, go overseas and start jumping out of airplanes. What was the first deployment like for you?
It was easy. The first deployment was fun. I was a personal security detachment as a private. We got a phone. I got there to my unit, and I was one of 3 infantry guys there, and the rest were all different headquarters, supply, things like that. And they said, the colonel wants 3 infantry guys to run his PSD team. And I'm a 19-year-old kid thinking, what? What do I know? I just got out of basic and airborne school. But, I mean, they said, here you go, here's a truck. You're in charge of this truck. And they gave my buddy another truck, and the other guy was a lead gunner. And they kind of, like, made us out to be, you know, some kind of like a boss type setting. And I was like, I'm only 19 telling these guys what to do, never been here before. 15 months in country, and was fortunate enough to meet my wife on MySpace because her brother's my medic, and he went home on leave. Yeah, he went home on leave and showed some pictures.
That's Kelsey?
Yeah, yeah. And she said, who's that good-looking fella right there? And he said, who, Casey? Our buddy Casey. And she goes, no, the big guy with the big arms and stuff. And he goes, Mills? Called me all sorts of horrible names. You know, told her horrible stories about me, like walking in a cement wall in the dark and things, whatever. It's in the past. But came back from that deployment. Me and her got married shortly after.
So you got married after your first deployment?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. In June, she came to Fort Bragg with me, and
what
got
year
her
was
apartment.
That?
2008.
2008.
So, just clicked and hung out at Fort Bragg. Went on my second deployment and
to Afghanistan again.
Yep, in 2009. The first one was 15 months. The second one I went on was a year. So I went to back to Afghanistan. This time went to the West, and came back. We bought a house in Fayetteville or Rayford area, right outside of Fort Bragg. And then my wife and I were fortunate enough to have a baby.
Little Chloe.
Yep, little Chloe. So Chloe was born September 27th. And then I went for my third deployment in February of 2012. So she was 4 months old roughly when I deployed. And then April 10th, walking along, minding my own business that day in particular. I set my bag down, and IED went off and hit the ground, roll over, the right arm's disintegrated, never found, right leg's never found. And I'm looking at that, and I have blood pouring out of a severed artery, just spitting. Left leg was hanging on, a couple pieces of meat, and they had to duct tape it to my thigh. And my left hand was still there. I rated my LT, told him I was hit, need some help. My medic was rushing over, fixing me up, the tourniquets, my platoon sergeant. And then the other medic got there, and they were fixing everybody up. They got hurt. There's 2 other guys got hurt with me. Not too bad, but enough they had to go home. And then I got in the helicopter, and I flew to the ambulance or hospital, landed. The ambulance come and got me, and I went to the operating room, and I was telling the doctors, leave me alone, quit touching me, I'm fine. And they went and knocked me out with a sedative or whatever, and put me to sleep. And the last thing I said was, my baby girl, I'm never going to see her again. And then April 12th, I cut my hand off the rest of the way because my skin necrotized around it. And then April 14th, which is my 25th birthday, they woke me up for the first time. They're like, oh, hey, man, happy birthday. How's it going? High five. Oh, wait, you can't. No, they didn't do that. But
Where were you then?
I was in Germany. So
Now-
I flew to Germany.
Now, you had two guys hurt with you, right?
I did.
And I remember you were concerned about them.
Yeah, one of my team leaders and one of my soldiers were hit as well. But they made it out. They're doing good now. One just had a baby. Actually named it after me. His middle name is Travis. And then the other guy's playing baseball at North Carolina, or in North Carolina at a D3 school. So doing well.
Terrific. So you're in Germany and you wake up, and what do you know about your situation?
I guess I don't know much. My brother-in-law was there, and he happened to be in Afghanistan, deployed with me all 3 times, but different places after the first one. And he broke his hand, so he came to Kandahar to get it fixed. It was completely related to what happened to me. He didn't mean to break his hand, but it just happened. And he came to Kandahar to get it fixed, saw me there, hopped on the plane, and they said, you got to get off. He said, I'm not getting off this plane, so you might as well just shut the tail and we can go. And they got to Bagram, he got his hand fixed, hopped on the plane again, and they said, you got to get off. And he said, again, I'm not getting off this plane, you might as well just shut the tail and we'll go to Germany. So we made it to Germany, and they woke me up for the first time he was there, and I said, my soldiers are my soldiers, and he told me what happened, that they were fine, that we were okay. They were here with me. And I said, am I paralyzed? And he said, no. I said, no, I can take it. You know, I can't put my fingers and toes, I'm paralyzed. And he said, you're not paralyzed, but you don't have your hands and feet anymore. And I guess I just said, oh. And then I just laid my head back down and didn't talk to anybody. And then I just wanted to go home really bad, back to the States. But I wouldn't talk to my wife. I was too embarrassed of what happened.
Why? Why do you think you felt embarrassed?
Because I was really good at the Army, really good at, you know, being a leader over there, a war fighter. They weren't supposed to ever get me. You know, and then...
That makes a lot of sense.
Then they did, so it was like a pride factor.
Now, the landmine is hidden, right? Like, you have no idea that you're going to...
We actually swept for it with a minesweeper.
So why didn't it?
It just didn't ping. It wasn't metal. It was plastic and glass. And it didn't ping, and the ground penetration system didn't work the right way. But actually, Brandon, one of the kids that got hurt with me, or one of the guys, he swept down and swept back. So not once, but twice. And there was 13 actually in a row in that particular spot. And I just happened to hit the first one. April 17th, they went ahead and let me fly home.
And his home, Walter Reed?
Walter Reed, back to the States.
Bethesda, Maryland?
Yep, so I arrived at Walter Reed, met my wife. I wouldn't talk to her there either. My parents got there as well. I had some stitches open up, so I was kind of in a puddle of blood when I got there, so Kelsey had to sign an agreement to cut an inch or two off.
Oh, my.
More of my arm. And she, you know, kind of had to go out in the hallway and sit down for seeing me and everything. So back to surgery, and then she came in and got to see me, and it was kind of rough for the first couple of days. I wouldn't talk to anybody. And then there was like 2 weeks I really don't remember that much because I was in such bad pain. I was just so high on medicine. Then they did 3 or 4 test studies and trials, and they just didn't work. And then they said, well, this is one. We've only done it one other time. We don't know the results. They do it overseas quite a bit. And it's 30 people in the nation have had, or in the world have had it, and only 2 in the States, and I'd be the second one to have it. So, I guess only 1 in the States. And I said, okay, fine, let's try it. And it was a ketamine coma, like horse tranquilizer. So I did a ketamine coma, 600 milligrams an hour for 5 days straight, which is like horse tranquilizer mixed with PCP, like crazy hallucinogen. It was wild. So I was just like out for 5 days, and I woke up.
What's the purpose of that?
Reset my brain tolerance, or my pain tolerance in my brain, so that I wouldn't keep looking for my hands and my feet, like keep shooting nerves.
Oh my goodness.
So I woke up.
Did it work?
It did. I woke up after 4 days, or the 5th day, I guess. I was talking slow, I didn't know what was going on, just kind of yelling out, you know, like and stuff. And then I was real slow, and then I wouldn't sleep for 4 days. I just was like awake. Every time I shut my eyes, I could hear myself yelling at one of my gunners to shoot people, you know, shoot. And I wasn't upset about it. That's why every time I closed my eyes, I just was yelling at, you know, them to do that. And like giving commands overseas like normal. And then the 5th day, I finally was like kind of not so out of it. And like the 5th day after I came out of the coma, my pain tolerance reset, and then I was able to quit all my medication by October of 2013, like 6 months after my explosion. I was just like, okay, done with this. Like, I don't want to wear these pills, make me feel funny if I don't take them. If I miss them, I just feel like a drone, not happy, not sad, just kind of sitting there. kind of comatose. And I was like, I'm done with this. So I just quit them completely. I think I had 10
Because your brain was reset.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And it hurt for a couple of days, but
The pain.
Yeah, but now I don't, no pain whatsoever. Every now and then I get something that like shoots down, and I'm like, by the time I'm done making a noise, it's already gone. So I was like, that's fine.
So this is a 6-month stint at Walter Reed, and you've
Well,
been
no,
there.
that was when I quit my medication. I was at Walter Reed 19 months.
You were Walter Reed 19 months.
Yeah.
And so how far in are you when you quit your medication?
6 months.
6 months in when you quit the medication?
Yeah, but I was so driven. I woke up from that ketamine coma. They took the catheter and everything out, and I was just like, okay. I met this guy, Todd Nicely. He came walking in my room, second quadruple amputee. He came walking in, both arms on, both legs. And I thought I was hallucinating again. And I said, hey, I got some ginger ale under there if you want some ginger ale. And he thought I asked him to get me one. So he bent down on one knee and grabbed ginger ale out of the box under the sink area and handed it to me. And I was in the middle of saying, how did you do that? And I said, or no, I was in the middle of explaining, no, I asked if you wanted one, but I only got like 3 words out instead of the whole sentence. I said, how did you do that? And he told me, hey, man, you're going to be fine. Like, you're not the only one. I walk, I drive, I live with my wife out in Missouri. Like, you'll be good. And that's when I met the Garrison East Foundation people that said they're going to build a smart home and all this great stuff. And, I was just kind of like, this is not real. I got a robot in my room with these people telling me they're going to build me a house. Obviously, I'm hallucinating, but it was all true. And
Do you think you felt hope at that time?
I did.
In
I did.
kind of a new way?
And I told my doctors, I said, look, I got to go work out now. And they said, well, you can't yet. Your stomach's still not quite ready from the catheter and all the things that you've had. And I said, no, you don't get it. I have to go work out now. I have a wife and a family to live for and to take care of. And we got in an argument. So I called every half hour, 4 hours straight. So he's like, okay, fine, you go work out. And
You called the doctor?
yeah, oh yeah. I kept paging him. And I kept saying, look, I got to go. And I was adamant about it. He's
The
like,
same determination that got you in the military.
And he's like, what's your big rush? And I had pictures behind me and my wedding day of my wife and I, plus all my family pictures. And I said, look behind you. Like, look at the people on the wall. Like, I got people to get better for, and now I know it can be done. I just saw it. So why are we wasting time? And I got my hand 3 or 4 weeks after I got hurt. So I was able to feed myself and do all that. And then I got my legs 7 weeks after I got hurt, and I was able to walk for the first time. I was only 5'5" at that. They start you on short legs. So I was looking up at my wife, like, hey, how's it going? And then 3 months into that, I got my tall legs. And my therapist was so adamant about keeping me short, and I was getting so mad watching guys grow and everything. And then finally when I did grow, after one day on the track, with the hookup I had, I was off the hookup and off the cane. I was so strong that I didn't need all that stuff. So she knew it. Mother knows best. Therapist knew best. So it worked out, but it was a rough road. In the very beginning stage. It's still. It's not so bad now. Now I know I can do it. Now I drive myself around and feed myself. But in the very beginning there, boy, I was sure angry about everything.
When you were, I think, coming out of the coma, Jim Peters and his wife and their ministry, they came in, they started singing a cappella.
They had the band with them too.
They had the band.
The guys, they came in. They're like, "Hey, we come around singing." They have these awesome shirts, and that's their whole thing. They come around and that's the whole thing. They have T-shirt for troops, so they pass T-shirts out to the guys with superheroes on them or different designs and logos, and come around and they pray for you and they ask how you're doing, and they sit in there and then they sing songs. They ask you, they request any requests, see if we know it. But they also do other things. They take people out to dinner, or take the whole group out to dinner. They just hang out, and then they hosted a talent show as well. I didn't have any talent, so I didn't go in there. I could have went in there and maybe told some jokes.
I think you'd be very good at that.
I know, but what if I would have hurt someone's feelings? Ooh. Should say that. I don't want to get into that mess. But so they did a talent show, and they did just a couple other different events, that they've been a part of, and they make it a point to come back and see how everybody's doing, and selflessly, really. They don't know, they don't. No one. I don't know. They don't do it because they have to. They do it because they want to, and that's pretty awesome. So
you kind of go from a position at Walter Reed from, I won't put words in your mouth, but maybe being angry at God to that hope, and you see that you got two choices. You said to yourself, I got two choices.
And we did cover this a little bit ago off air, but no, I was angry. I had a was a psalm. I can't remember it for the life of me right now which one it was, but it was like, don't be afraid, for your Lord God walks beside you, hand in hand or something.
It's a common theme in the Bible.
Yeah.
Fear not. The most
Yeah,
frequent
that's
command
what
in the
it's, yeah.
Bible is fear not, for the Lord our God is with you.
Oh my gosh, that was it. I was so drugged up, I couldn't remember that. But it was, yeah, and I told my mom, turn it around or put it face down. I said, I don't want to see that. I said, what, do you take a smoke break or something? And I was just angry. But it wasn't the right way to act, because it's easy to be a believer when everything's going right, you know. When you want something, if you pray for something because you want, you know, like, oh, let me get this job, or, you know, things like that. But it's like, oh, hey, now I really see, like, hey, I was supposed to die. Like, the guys don't make it from my situation, especially, you know, not normally. And I'm here for my daughter. I'm here for my family, you know, my wife and I. And I was able to celebrate my daughter's first birthday party at our house. I was able to take my wife out to a movie for our anniversary. I was in a wheelchair. I didn't have legs yet, but we went out to a movie, and I think we saw Snow White and the Huntsman. But either way, we got to do that still. And there's still such great things going on that I'm trying to pay it forward as well. And I see, you know, so at first I was angry. Now, you know, now it's a lot different. But, you know, it's just where I came to the choice. Like, hey, I can sit here and have someone spoon feed me and be bitter about the situation, or just realize there's ways to get better and just do that.
Walk Restoration Road. So tell me what rehab was like.
It was, I mean, it was fun. I had a therapist named Gary Quinn. She's great. She was okay. The first thing she said, like, look, hey, I'm here for you. If you want to get better, you'll get better, and I'll help you along with it. If you don't, I'm not going to waste my time on someone who doesn't want to get better. So you got to make the choice. And I think that's the best message, because instead of feeling sorry for yourself, you're like, well, no, I want to get better, you know. And a lot of guys will feel sorry for themselves and not want to get better or not try, and it's just frustrating to the therapist, you know. Like, they're trying, and they have all the tools that you need, but if you're not willing to go for it, why should they? You know, why should they take the extra effort? But no, we got along great, and just started first doing trampoline jumps and leg lifts and stuff like that, because you got to strengthen up your hips and your core now. That's all you use. You don't have ankles and knees and things to, you know, to help you balance. So we did all that, and then I finally got my legs and was walking around the track. They said, look, your first day you'll probably do a lap. Well, I did 3 laps. I was so, you know, in the last lap I took the crutches up. Like, the last stretch of the lap I took the crutches up, and I was like, I told you I'd walk, and you can hear it yelling at me in the video, and I almost fall, and I pick them up again. You know, and then they go from that to your tall legs, and you got to walk all over. And then I started going and visiting guys up in the hospital, because I was one of the first guys of the summer for the big offensive that they put on. And, you know, we go up and visit room to room to room, see if anybody needed anything, had any questions about their injuries. I knew I was going to be the worst one that they saw for amputee-wise. So that way I could show them, like, hey, check it out. This is the knees you get if you lost your knee. This is the arm you'll get if you lost your arm. And then I started taking guys with me. I was fortunate to have one of the generals called me up when the Boston bombing came up and said, hey, I need you to go to Boston to visit these guys. So 2 weeks after the people got hurt, I was up there at Spalding Rehab, and then they were kind of giving us a run around. Spalding gave us a tour. They didn't want us to go upstairs. And finally, me and my buddy were just like, we're going upstairs. Like, we just went in the elevator and went up ourselves, and then walked down. The nurses were all like, oh my gosh, can you talk to this person? Can you come in here? And we got to be, you know, got to know quite a bit of them.
That's awesome.
By through the hallways and stuff. So, you know, you might as well make a positive out of a negative, I guess. And the situation I was put in wasn't easy, wasn't what I wanted. That still isn't what I want. But, you know, I've been able to do a documentary about my situation. I've been able to start a foundation about it, or not about my situation, but with people behind me and supporters. I have a foundation and other good things to come. So I'm fortunate to still be around.
Well, it's obvious God's using you through what you've been through to bring His restoration to others. You're paying forward what happened when you wanted the ginger ale
I did.
in your room.
Yeah.
And it's awesome how God is using you. You got out 19 months after being at Walter Reed?
Yep. I retired November 2013.
And what was it like leaving there for the first time?
I mean, I left a lot, so it didn't feel... I left a lot. I was able to go on trips a lot. After 5 weeks of inpatient in the hospital room, like, actually, you go outpatient. They have their own apartment-style living. So Kelsey and I had our own apartment. We'd go travel, like go to our house in North Carolina, go to my parents' house, go to Texas to her parents' house, go to Maine, other different trips. So it didn't feel real. Like, I was like, okay, cool. I had a retirement ceremony, you know, cried, saying goodbye, and then we left. And I was like, well, I'll be back, you know, like, it didn't feel like it. And then after a month goes by, I guess what hit me the hardest, actually, I got to my in-laws in Texas where I was going to stay for the winter. And I walked to the bedroom, and there was a picture of me. I got my orange ball cap on. The picture was taken the day before I got hit. It was the last picture I ever taken with my arms. And I'm all kitted up. And I took a picture with the ball cap on for a kid at home that got the hat for me. It's Vassar Falcons football hat, whatever. That's who I played, you know. And I hit that, and I just sat down in the bed and started, you know, just crying. Like, so sad. This is my life now. What am I going to do? And then it all at once hit me. And then I was like, you know what? No, why would I cry? Like, it's not over. I'm just going to move forward. And pick myself back up, I guess, and we went. I didn't tell my wife I was crying. She came in and she saw, and then she took the picture down. I said, "No, put it up. That's fine. That's who I used to be. I'm still that same person, just a little different now." And you know, it's been pretty fun. I travel around now with a documentary, and
you speak, and that's through one of your companies, and then you have the foundation, and you're working on events for veterans and camps for veterans. You want to talk about that?
So there's I don't feel like you really need a therapist always to tell you what's wrong with you and diagnose you, and everything like that. I feel like I got my best healing at Walter Reed with the other guys and their families. My wife has a 6-way group message that she's in with 6 or 5 other wives.
Going through the same thing.
Yeah, through the same thing that she became really good friends with. And then they all went home, you know, Alabama, Nashville, or Alabama, Tennessee, Iowa, you know, all the people left. One guy's in Ohio. I'm friends with the people from Ohio. I don't know why, being a Michigan guy. But anyway, so she still talks with them. And I think me and her got through the situation best with the people there. And the PTSD and TBI and all that, we don't have any of that stuff. Me and my group of friends at Walter Reed that we all hung out with. So guys that go home and you can't see their wounds or what their head's doing, I think they go home, they're secluded in their town. Nobody else really went overseas. It's not like Vietnam where everybody from the same town was drafted, or World War II, everybody signed up. So I'm trying to bring the VFW and American Legions back and plus numbers up with the younger generation of warfighters to get them back on their mission and bring family into it. So what I'm trying to do is have American Legion posts or VFW posts that wants to come out to a veterans, to the camp I'm starting up in Maine, you know, sign up, tell me how my family's, and come on up. This year's going to be 1 week, and then next year will be 4 to 16 weeks, and we'll keep growing from there.
That's
but next year
amazing.
I'll be purchasing a property next year. I haven't purchased one yet. We're fortunate enough to have a camp host us this year.
Are you going to do that in Maine?
I am.
Where the Gary Sinise Foundation is helping you build a smart home?
Yep.
For you?
There's a smart home being put up, and we're supposed to have it done August 7th, but we had to push it back to September 6th.
And you also drive your vehicle, right?
Oh, yeah. I
And
drive.
How's that work?
It depends. The van I drive with hand controls. So I have, like, right here, I put an actuator switch and a gas and throttle right here, and then hands on a tri-pin. Then my knee bumps a switch for this digitone switch is called, and I hold it down, and the first tone I let off, it's left turn, hold it down for 2 tones, it's right turn, then horn, blinkers, or I already did the blinkers, sorry, horn, dimmers, windshield wipers, windows, and cruise control. And then my truck, very stubborn, and I know I can drive with my feet, so I actually just drive with these 2 bad boys right here. I lock them out to about that degree, and then I have my brake pedal set up with an extender on it, and I just press it down. And I got a tri-pin. My blinker system's right here and lights and everything.
You're amazing.
But no hand controls in that one. And I'm just stubborn, I think. I went and told the driver rehab lady, I said, 2 choices. I bought a truck. Either you help me learn how to drive with my feet or I do it myself without you. I said, either way, it's going to get done. And she rolled her eyes and said, oh, okay, I'll help you. I've been looking to get into this. We'll figure it out. So me and my buddy Taylor drive with our feet. We're both cut the same, except his right arm's longer than mine. And his left arm's shorter than mine. You know, you get it.
I get it. Let's talk about how this works.
It's magic. It just says hocus pocus and then alakazam. No, it's muscle flexors in the arm, which if you make a fist, this muscle down here, or up here, and this muscle down here. So when you rev it back like that, you can feel that flex. Mm-hmm. It reads it. So if I go up slow, if I go up fast, it's just how fast it's a quick twitch. So how fast I twitch the muscles. Down slow and down fast. And that's just how it works.
It's all based on whether you flex up or down on the forearm.
And go all the way 360. I tell kids I'm a transformer. Kids are usually like, they're scared when they come in first. And they see me and they're like, oh, he's that robot. And I'm like, you guys ever watch Iron Man or seen Transformers? And then they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, well, I'm the same thing. Me and Iron Man, we go on missions. I got jetpack legs. I just don't have them on today. I'm gonna fly. I don't wear my right arm. Sorry, I said I don't wear my right arm, but I'm like, I got a missile missiles getting put in it right now for my next upcoming mission. But don't tell anybody.
Beautiful.
And that, and that disarms them, so they're not like, oh, scared. Now they're like, oh, how's it work? I'm like, hey, we'll say open, open. What? Close. What? So I do my best. And when I shook your daughter's hand, I just pointed in a circle. I was like, do you have something metal on you?
Yeah, I remember.
And she's like, maybe my watch. And I'm like, I'm just kidding. But I think that just sets a tone where it's not like, oh, be scared of this guy because he looks different. He's kind of weird, to like, oh, okay, well, he's normal.
It puts people at ease.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited about your documentary and how you're traveling and putting that out there and the message. And a new book's on the horizon. We're excited for that for you as well. And Travis, I just can't thank you enough. Paul writes in the New Testament how God will use whatever we've been through, whatever trial we've been through, to help restore others. And that's what he's doing with you. And I think about what Jesus said in John 15:13, that greater love has no man than to lay down his life for his friends. And that's what you did. That's what you were doing. And you were concerned about your team when you went down with the landmine. And you're just a picture of restoration and hope. And I can't thank you enough for who you are and what you're doing.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm going to keep going forward and keep, trying to help people out. That's kind of the main thing, serving others.
Amen. So what burden are you carrying right now? It might be physical, like Travis. And if so, that's leading to mental and emotional challenges that are coming your way. It might be a business that's not doing so well. It might be the loss of a job. It might be something that's a result of a challenging economy. It might be a relationship that's going south in a hurry. Peter wrote in 1 Peter 5:7, cast all your anxiety on Christ because he cares for you. He wants you to surrender your burdens to him. And when you surrender those, you just say to him, God, I can't, you can. I can't restore this life on my own, you can. And he will use you to bring his restoration to others, to bring that peace that only Christ offers, the reconciled relationship with him that leads to the reconciliation of your relationships with others. And he will use you to bring his restoration to all those around you.